Okay, so all things are alleged. I'm just giving you my opinion. Now, Steve Harvey, he done put his business out there. Shirley Strawberry, Miss Strawberry. Letters. Okay, so you had your letter today, and I kind of thought that was going to be on the way. But it was so much flip-flopping going on with that moment of truth. You know, Steve said that, sometimes, now this is not verbatim, but yeah, sometimes things become a reality. Okay, art sometimes does imitate life. But let me tell y'all, Steve Harvey started getting on my nerves. By the time it was his turn to talk, that man literally started to get on my nerves. And I had to remember why I was never a big fan of his. Yes, I used to watch the Steve Harvey show. But the same way that her apology moment to him and his wife, Marjorie, got turned around because he took it in a whole nother direction before you know it, when he started to blast black asterisk mark bloggers. Like, this man actually had a chastising moment, like he was doing some correction in the process, saying that the YouTubers make it worse. It's the black ones that make it so much worse than what it is. Like, he had a word, like he had a prophetic word on how you're supposed to move as a blogger. Put a scripture on the whole situation. Talked about how he is favored. Well, I'm favored too. You're favored too. You talk about God. Some of you. I talk about God sometimes. But I'm like, well, we using this moment right here in the same sentence to have a cuss word, to talk down on somebody. Come on, Steve Harvey, Mr. Harvey. This is the entertainment industry. You don't know how it works by now? Well, I think you're the one that should have been, corrected. Or look, I don't know what your wife did or what she didn't do. Talking about how messy and trying to destroy. Ain't nobody trying to destroy your life. For what? What type of bag or come up or positivity moment is that? Like, I was just trying to focus on what Shirley Strawberry was saying, because last night, what was that, letter number 8? Like, my mouth was just to the floor. I was like floored listening to that conversation. And so, yeah, she did mention Shirley Strawberry did mention, see them 2 S's be throwing me off, but she did mention that Marjorie, all things are alleged and just my opinion. She did mention that she felt like she was looked at as the help. That's great, as far as put it out there. So you was on the call with Ernesto, Ernesto. Yeah, you was on a call with him. Those of y'all, yes, you heard the call. I'm just having my say about it, in my opinion. If that's how you felt, that's how you felt. You put it out there. That's your husband you was talking to. Who hasn't had pillow talk with their other half or a close friend or a family member or somebody that you trust? Granted, she wasn't expecting for the phone call to get out there. Oh, and then even when Steve had mentioned, yeah, money talks. Money definitely talks. Who paid somebody in the facility as such? The timing of even getting the tapes released with all his drama that's been said about allegedly his wife dealing with the security. Big boom, big boom, big boom. What a name, what a name, what a name of a mighty, mighty man. Boom. Now look, you hired him and allegedly Big Boom got a pass, but you hired him, but that doesn't mean people don't deserve a second chance, third chance, just because maybe something that was they may have done and they're like, who knows, things happen, and Steve gave him a job. So what? If it was mentioned about what the chef, I mean, just on and on and on, like they said, timing. So Steve is saying that his name is headlighting the captions. Well, isn't it supposed to? You are Mr. Steve Harvey. Your name is caught up in the blogs. Well, isn't it supposed to? I mean, he was sounding as if he was about to stop something, like he was about to call rain. Now, it's not my fault that, these phone calls between Shirley Strawberry and Ernesto became juicy. Because I'm going to tell y'all, any form of addiction is addiction, to the point where I was honestly looking forward, like some of you all as well, was looking forward to hearing what's next with these phone calls. But after hearing that phone call from last night, and Ernesto, he is exchanging information or talking in general to his wife. They going back and forth, Strawberry letters. I keep calling her Strawberry. Miss Shirley Strawberry. She talking about how basically different ones are not welcome to the house, but yet they're friends of Steve Harvey's. Like Marjorie does not want them there. And I think that's another good thing. At least she heard it. At least she heard it. She knows how you feel. Maybe it's some things that she does need to check about herself and to question. And see, my thing is, why? I'm not saying Miss Marjorie does, but why is it that some people with money, as Miss Shirley was talking about how she has her own spa in the house. Okay. But why do some people have to esteem themselves more highly than what they should? We all have had to start somewhere. Some of us have a game plan and just know how to get it if we go about it like this, that, and the third. Like everybody has their own steps ordained, or for you to choose the path that you want to take. There's yeses in this life, and there are no's in this life. There is such a thing as having your own mind and how far you want to go to accept certain things to get to the bag. If it just so happens to involve having a child by two cousins. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Just because, they the street men that's getting the money and you want to be a part of that too. Now, I have heard when it comes to certain other ethnicities, these mothers are already talking to their young daughters by the time they reach adult age to know what type of man to go after and what the come up is and how he can be beneficial to the family. Now, when it comes to a culture that I'm familiar with, that I look like, that conversation may not be had. And before you know it, you done went in debt trying to help somebody. You done went in debt trying to just accept them for who they are, because we are on the come up together. And I don't see anything wrong with that if things are going to get better, because sometimes it takes learning moments. Sometimes it takes situations to happen, because not all of us know this game when it comes to how to invest, how to grow, how to afford just a basic lifestyle without even getting your lights cut off, without having to get on social media to ask, can you give money to this GoFundMe that I'm having because this, that, and the third done happened. Nah, not everybody gets the basic education. But you know what? I do applaud Miss Shirley Strawberry, because that was definitely a humbling experience for her to apologize. She said if she could take it back from what she has said. She said that Steve at the house, Margie wasn't there. They was allowed to go there, her and whoever. When Margie wasn't there, allegedly, to go to the house, and he was wheezing out of breath going up the stairs. Okay, so she said that to Ernesto. So she apologized about that. She apologized about saying that she feels that Margie looks at them as the help. But who hasn't said things about people? Will we really want our true thoughts out there that we have thought about certain ones to be exposed? Because that's deep. But because it did come out, because that is the Steve Harvey, that's the name of the show. That's who she works for. That's the name that's on her checks. And she said she still wanted to have her, her job. So she just had to confront it. Now, she said, wait, this is what got me when she said, Steve, I know you going through what you going through with your own family. Steve took that conversation back to say, we gonna get to that, but not in this conversation. So I don't know. That was, to me, giving some energy, breathing some life on something that he may be getting ready to clear up or to talk about. But in due time, that's his business. He can talk about it when he's ready, but he can choose to also not talk about it. If he chooses to, that's fine. But if nobody talking about these celebrities, if life was really humdrum, nothing being said, they probably would be questioning that. But if you agree and you're accepting this life of being in the limelight, it's just things that's going to be said. Whether what media outlet chooses to take the story. And see, he chose to esteem other bloggers, I guess, that's opposite of the black A's, in that same sentence, he's quoting scriptures and, this is the motivational speaker. This is the person that people are being directed by, having faith in, getting guidance from. Now, I don't fault Shirley Strawberry by any means. She was reading letters throughout the years. I used to listen to her. And that don't mean just because of the advice that she gave that I was applying it. But I think when certain things knock on your door, personally, it is a game changer. Now, I do think if we did take the time out to get to know people in a very, 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 very slow process, because nowadays you really have to do your due diligence of getting to know people. Because sometimes people will actually give you signs, even if you haven't even done a background check, so to speak, on them. Sometimes people will give you signs on who they really are. Now, it's being reported. I don't know this man's record. I'm talking about Ernesto. But it's being reported that he has been involved in some very, very, very egregious things that aren't adding up. Now, I have a soft spot when it comes to kids. Don't mess with kids. Don't do that. That's wrong. I have a soft spot when it comes to women, taking advantage of women. Don't do that. That's wrong. People in general, and trying to scam people out of their hard-earned money, and you don't deliver on what you're supposed to. Lies, lies, lies. The elderly, not showing no respect, but the elderly, that's another one. People in general, like even, if it's a man doing another man wrong or talking dirty or slick or capping about XYZ, human to human, the empathy, the sympathy, where is that at? I mean, it almost felt like, again, Steve Harvey was trying to have a chastising moment. Like, if he sees somebody, he gonna have some. No, you're not. I don't know if that comedic side was coming out of him to have some extra words. But then it was like, now you're defeating the purpose of even having this moment for Shirley to have her moment, because now you going in a whole nother direction. And she's like, now Steve, like don't do that. But at the same time, she's trying to save face to hold it down. But I thought it was good, that the ones on the show who does a show with her, I think the lady's name mentioned was Monica, as well as Cousin Tommy. But look though, what is their show even about? What do they talk about? Because when Steve came for talking about the clicks and YouTube and the money, and entertainment is entertainment. It's entertainment. It's show business. It's a business. Some understand it, some don't understand it. But truly, 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 who is trying to destroy Steve Harvey? I think he got a little carried away with that one, but maybe some things behind the scenes going on with him as to why he thinks that. But I still wonder though, who in the heck leaked those tapes? And for what? And like Steve did say, the timing of the tapes being leaked. Big boom, big boom, big boom, big boom. Being mentioned. Now how soon after? I mean, the way that the YouTube streets have opened up about these jail calls between Shirley and Ernesto has just been unreal. It was like to the point where it was like a world premiere, like another one is dropping. Another one is dropping. People have been saying that they can't even concentrate on work for trying to see what was being said. I mean, the way he was having this, Ernesto was having this intimate relationship. When I say intimate relationship, I'm talking about how intimate that phone call was with the mistress. I said, oh, rewind, because it was like really, really sucking me in. But I say, you got to be really, really careful in life, because before you know it, you can be sucked into things that can lead to a dangerous path, especially with the wrong people. When you had no intentions, never had that type of lifestyle, next thing you know, you done introduce this type of person that's into these type of things into your life. And once you open the door, it is hard sometimes to get out of that. That it takes a serious deliverance. But I just wanted to have my say, since he went there, about these bloggers, because I was like, whoa, now I'm fired up now, because I have not been on this train of Steve Harvey, but now he got me looking even more. Like, I had to even like I used to watch the Steve Harvey show to look at Marilyn Santana. I wasn't watching the Steve Harvey show to look at that piece of a high top that he used to wear that was cut to perfection, Egyptian style. Oh, I said, what? Then, eventually he went to the bald head. He had the live suits at one time. He was on tour. No, I ain't never seen a man on tour, things of that nature. But it's like, I wasn't really getting really familiar with Steve until this time around, till Lori Harvey, basically, and him, being on different interviews, and that interview that he did with Shannon Sharp, that Shay Shay show, talking about women don't have to bring nothing to the table. Women. Do y'all really agree with that? Men, do you really agree with that a woman does not? I just say you can't take advice from everybody. That's why, if you do take advice, you really have to decide, okay, is this the advice that I really want to accept and apply? That's all I'm going to say on it.